What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys two players that will be X factors for our Atlanta Falcons in today's matchup against the Carolina Panthers. This is a home game for our Atlanta Falcons. And this is going to be like a playoff game. It's going to have playoff implications, and it's going to be a playoff atmosphere because whoever wins this game today will be in first place in the NFC South. So as I stated all this week and earlier this week, this is a must-win game for our Atlanta Falcons. Being that this is a home game, being that we're 0-2 so far in the NFC South in our division, this is a game that the Falcons must come out and win. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So first off, the first X factor in this game on the defensive side of the ball, I believe it'll be safety Richie Grant. You guys know that he's in his second season out of the University of UCF, or University of Central Florida. He was one of the guys that I had on my draft board when we drafted him. He is one of my favorite players on the defensive side of the ball that we drafted last year. And he's played really well this year in Dean Pease's scheme. He didn't play a lot in his first season, but this year he's playing really well. And I think he'll be the X factor in this game. Richie Grant didn't play well last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, which pretty much our whole defense really didn't play that well. We gave up a lot of explosive plays. But being that we have a lot of cornerbacks, defensive backs out in this game, Richie Grant is the quarterback on the back end of that secondary and the back end of that defense. He usually is the last line of defense, like we seen last week on that first touchdown by Tyler Boyd, where Richie Grant fell down. He is the last line of defense. So he does have to redeem himself today. And I think that he will redeem himself today. I really think that Richie Grant could be a future Pro Bowler in the NFL because of his instincts, because he is a ball hawk. He's great at going to get the football. He's great, a pretty good tackler for his size. He's a good tackler. He's not afraid to come down in the run game and make tackles on running backs and tight ends. And he's also one of those guys that's really smart. For him to be a second-year player, Dean Pease talks about him, stating that he could possibly be a great safety. And we know that Dean Pease has coached, the likes of Ed Reed and a lot of those guys, Lori Malloy. He's coached a lot of great former safeties, Rodney Harrison when he was with the Patriots. So Richie Grant definitely has a great defensive coordinator that can teach him some things, but I definitely think in this game, he could be the game changer. I think in this game that he has an interception because P.J. Walker, who's the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, is a kind of a journeyman quarterback. He's a guy that can make mistakes if you put pressure on him. And I think in this game that Dean Pease, as our defensive coordinator, we know that he likes to blitz. And in this game, I expect him to bring pressure early in this game. And I expect P.J. Walker to make a mistake. And I think Richie Grant could be the guy who comes up with an interception in this game. But we're going to need Richie Grant to play big without us having his partner in the backfield, Jalen Hawkins, without him playing in this game due to him having a concussion last week, due to A.J. Terrell still being out, and Casey Hayward, who's our top two corners. The Falcons signed Cornell Armstrong last week off of our practice squad, and then they elevated him and signed him yesterday. So we're really young on that back end at that corner position. I think it'll be Cornell Armstrong possibly starting on the outside, and I think D. Alford probably will be starting. Darren Hall probably be on the other side, but D. Alford probably will be in as the nickel, and they're probably going to play Dean Marlowe and Eric Harris as well in this game because we're really banged up in the secondary. But in this game, I think Richie Grant will be the X factor on defense. On the offensive side of the ball, I think that Marcus Mariota, our starting quarterback, will be the X factor for our Atlanta Falcons today. A lot of people have been talking a lot about Marcus Mariota. Should he get benched? To me, Marcus Mariota has played well this season compared to what, the offensive coordinator and what they're asking him to do. Being that this is a run-heavy team, this fits Marcus Mariota's skill set perfectly. I think in this game, Marcus Mariota is going to have to do what he's done all season as far as using his legs and mixing up the run and pass. And I think in this game, he has to let it rip. He can't be afraid or scared to give those big targets that he has on the outside a chance to make plays on the ball in one-on-one situations. So Drake London on those back shoulder fades, you got to give him a chance because he's very athletic, and usually 90% of the time Drake London and Kyle Pitts are going to win a jump ball situation. If they're not going to catch it, it's not going to get intercepted. It's going to, either they're catching it or nobody's catching it usually. So if I'm Marcus Mariota in this game, when I'm throwing to my bigger targets like the Kyle Pitts, like the Drake Londons, I'm throwing it up and giving those guys a chance. I don't think that he should be risky in this game and take, unnecessary chances, meaning if they're in double coverage or something like that. But if it's a situation where they're in one-on-one coverage, if I'm seeing Drake London or Pitts in one-on-one coverage, I'm assuming that that's open wide receiver. So we gotta, he definitely has to let it rip in this game. He can't be afraid to take those chances, especially because we're only throwing the ball like 15 times a game. So when we're in the red zone or when those guys are singled up in man-to-man coverage, you have to feed those guys the football. Also in this game, Marcus Mariota just has to play a clean game. No fumbles. Like I said, no unnecessary risks. Just basically manage the game, because the Carolina Panthers are not a juggernaut team. They're not a team that we should be, super worried about this turning into a shootout like we did last week with the Bengals. But I definitely think that Marcus Mariota can be efficient. If he plays the same way he played all year long, the way he played against the San Francisco 49ers, if he comes out, and hits his targets, comes out running the football and doing what they ask him to do in the parameters of this offense, I think the Falcons win this game. And I think that we'll end up being, solely in first place at 4-4. And right now, the Falcons are looking like one of the better teams in the NFC South, because right now the Bucs are sliding. They've lost 3 in a row. The Carolina Panthers, they've been all over the place because they fired the head coach. And then the New Orleans Saints have been sliding all season as well, being that they lost Sean Payton as the head coach. So right now the Falcons are looking like the most stable team out of all the 3 teams currently in the NFC South. And I think at this point, we've been playing the best football, the most consistent football this year. So in this game, this is, like I said, a must-win game for our Atlanta Falcons. I expect the Atlanta Falcons to come out with the victory today. But the 2 players that I'm looking at to be the X factors is going to be safety Richie Grant. On offense, quarterback Marcus Mariota, I think he'll be the game changer in this game. Not only throwing the ball, but using his legs. But he can't be afraid to put that ball up and give your playmakers a chance to make plays in this game. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.